Welcome to CATEX TV. Today is Tuesday, the 4th of March. In an alarming escalation in rhetoric, Russian President Vladimir Putin said there had been an unconstitutional coup in Ukraine and ousted leader Viktor Yanukovych was still the legitimate leader of the country despite giving up all power. In comments broadcast on live state television today, Putin said Russia had no need yet to send troops into the Ukraine, but reserved the right to do so and use all means to protect citizens should the need arise. On Monday, Vitaly Churkin, Russia's envoy to the UN, told an emergency meeting of the Security Council that Yanukovych requested Russia's armed forces to enter Ukraine and establish law and order. He said that Churkin said the request came because, as the legitimately elected representative, Yanukovych believes Ukraine is on the brink of civil war. Egypt's Armed Forces Chief Field Marshal Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has said he cannot ignore calls by the majority for him to run for president. He told journalists official procedures regarding his candidacy were expected in the coming days, according to Egypt's state news agency. It's the clearest indication yet that he will stand in the election, which is scheduled to take place in mid-April. The Field Marshal led the overthrow of President Mohamed Morsi in July last year. Chinese police have captured 3 suspects for a knife-wielding railway station attack that killed 29 people and wounded 143. Altogether, 8 members of a so-called terrorist gang carried out the stabbing spree late on Saturday. 4 more of the group were shot dead by police, and a wounded woman was captured at the scene. China blames separatists for its resistive far west region, Xinjiang, home in the mainly Muslim Uyghur minority, for what it describes as an act of terror, with state media dubbing the incident China's 9/11. Many Chinese internet users accuse the US of double standards on social media after Washington condemned the bloody rampage by attackers but refrained from calling it a terrorist incident. In the US, an appeals court has rejected oil and gas giant BP's call to prevent businesses from seeking financial reparations for the 2010 Gulf of Mexico oil spill. The 5th US Circuit Court of Appeals in New Orleans upheld yesterday by 2 votes to 1 a December 24th ruling by US District Court Judge Carl Barbier that authorized payments for the so-called business economic loss claims. It also said an injunction preventing payments should be lifted and claims should be made without proof of financial loss. Lloyd's carrier Brit Insurance plans to float on the London Stock Exchange next month, the carrier said, confirming a story published yesterday by the Insurance Insider. Brit plans to achieve a minimal free float of 25% in an IPO handled by banks including JP Morgan and UBS. The proposed IPO comes 3 years after Brit was acquired for £880 million by private equity firms Apollo and CVC, which will remain the company's biggest shareholders. And finally, an ancient virus has come back to life after lying dormant for at least 30,000 years. It was found in a deep layer of Siberian permafrost, but after it thawed it became infectious once again. French scientists say the contagion poses no danger to humans or animals, but other viruses could be unleashed as the ground becomes exposed. Professor Jean-Claude Clavier from the National Centre of Scientific Research at the University of Aix-Marseille in France said this is the first time we've seen a virus that's still infectious after this length of time. The ancient pathogen was discovered buried 30 meters down in frozen ground. Researchers believe that other more deadly pathogens could be locked in Siberia's permafrost. Professor Clavier warned that exposing deep layers could expose new viral threats. He said, "It's a recipe for disaster. If you start having industrial explorations, people will start to move around the deep permafrost layers. Through mining and drilling, those old layers will be penetrated, and this is where the danger is coming from." Well, that's all from us today. We'll be back with you again tomorrow. Until then, thank you very much and goodbye.